Today we are doing lesson 10.4, read bar graphs. The essential question is, how is a bar graph used to show data? Listen and draw. Use the picture graph to solve the problem. Draw or write to show what you did. So our graph is labeled red trucks seen last week. And these are the people that saw red trucks: Morgan, Terrell, Jasmine, and Carlos. And our key tells us that each red rectangle stands for one red truck. The problem is this: Morgan made a picture graph to show the number of red trucks that she and her friends saw last week. How many red trucks did the 4 children see last week? So how will we solve that? How will we figure out how many they saw? We could count the red rectangles, or we could do a number sentence, because we need to know how many this is in all. So let's do a number sentence. Morgan saw 3, plus Terrell saw 6, plus Jasmine saw 8, plus Carlos saw 4. And now we need to get a total. I see a way to make a 10. I can take the 6 and the 4 and I can make 10 there. That leaves me with the 3 and the 8, and that would make 11. And 11 plus 10 more makes 21 red trucks. For our math talk, it says describe how the data in the graph for Terrell and Jasmine are different. Well, if I look at Terrell, he has 6 red trucks that he saw. Jasmine saw 8 red trucks. So they're different because Jasmine saw more red trucks than Terrell did, or I could say that Terrell saw fewer red trucks than Jasmine did. I could say that Jasmine saw 2 more red trucks than Terrell did, or I could say that Terrell saw 2 fewer trucks than Jasmine did. We're going to turn our paper over. We are on page 672, Model and Draw. A bar graph uses bars to show data. Look at where the bars end. This tells how many. So our graph is labeled children playing games. And we have a label over here that says outdoor games. So these are outdoor games: basketball, jump rope, soccer, and tag. And then we have numbers across the bottom, and those numbers stand for the number of children that are playing those games. In our bubble up here, it says there are 8 children playing soccer. I can see that because if I go to soccer and I follow this bar all the way over to where it ends at the number 8. So that tells me that there were 8 children. Can you tell how many children were playing tag? If I follow the bar, it ends at 5. There were 5 children playing tag. And for jump rope, it ends at 3. There were 3 children jump roping. And basketball, there were 6. Show, share, and show. We're going to use this bar graph here to answer these questions. Let's look at the labels of this bar graph. And you'll also notice that this bar graph went from one side to the other. This bar graph starts at the bottom and goes up. They are both bar graphs. It doesn't matter whether they go side to side or whether they go from bottom to the top. This is marbles in a bag. The numbers on the side tell me the number of marbles, how many there are in the bag. And then these color words on the bottom tell me what color the marbles are that are in the bag. So it says how many green marbles are in the bag. If I go to the green word and it happens to be a green bar, I follow it up, I can see that there are 4 green marbles. Number 2 asks how many more, there's that how many more, what does that tell you to do? How many more blue marbles than purple marbles are in the bag. So that's what I'm worried about, is blue and purple. And how many more tells me that I need to subtract. And I have to start with a larger number if I'm subtracting. So blue had 6, purple had 3. I'm just going to write that number sentence in here. 6 minus 3 equals 3. There are 3 more blue marbles in the bag. And question number 3 asks, how many marbles are in the bag? They want to know, out of all of these, how many marbles are in the bag? So they're asking us for a total. So we need to do the number for each one of these bars to get the total. We have 4 bars, so we're going to need 4 numbers. Red had 2, blue had 6, there are 4 green, and there are 3 purple. Again, I can see a way to make a 10. I always try to do that if I can. So that's 10, and then I have a 2 and a 3. That would make 5. So 10 plus 5 is 15. We're going to go to the next page, which is page 673 on your own. You're going to do this by yourself, but I will explain it. You'll use this bar graph, and it was a graph of favorite place to go. So on the side we have a label here that this is place, so these are the places the children were voting on. We have numbers across the bottom, and numbers always stand a number of something, and this is number of children who chose this place. So they voted on aquarium, zoo, beach, and museum. So how many children chose beach? So I go to the beach, I follow that bar, and you write the answer here. Which place did the fewest children choose? Which one has the smallest number? How many more children chose the zoo than the aquarium? There's that how many more. What do you do when it says how many more? And you are worried about zoo and aquarium. You need to write a number sentence in here and put your answer here. How many children chose a place that was not the zoo? How many children chose something different than the zoo? So you are not worried about the information about the zoo at all. You're worried about the aquarium, the beach, and the museum. You need to write a number sentence here and put your answer there. And number 8 says Greg chose a place that has more votes than the aquarium and the museum together. Which place did Greg choose? I need to give you a little hint here. You need to find out how much the aquarium and the museum are together before you can answer that question. And you'll write your answer here. Which place did Greg choose? Turn your paper over. Problem solving, you're going to use this bar graph to answer your questions. And this is about trees at the farm. We have numbers on the side, and we know that always means the number of something, and because we're talking about trees, it's number of trees. And across the bottom, these are the types of tree, so that's the label here. Oak, pecan, maple, and apple. So you'll use this data to answer these questions. How many trees are at the farm? All of these trees, how many are there? Write a number sentence and put your answer here. How many trees are not apple trees? So again, you need a number sentence, but you are not worried about apple. You're worried about the other trees. And put your answer here. Suppose 7 more trees are brought to the farm. How many trees would be at the farm then? Explain. Well, you've already done part of that, because here in number 9, you figured out how many trees are at the farm. So now, suppose 7 more trees are brought to the farm. You need to write a number sentence and give an answer, and then explain why that would be the correct answer. You're going to write a sentence with words to explain that. And on the bottom it says to use the data in the bar graph about trees to finish the sentence. There are fewer apple trees than oak trees. How many fewer apple trees than oak trees? You need to write a number sentence here to get that answer. And you're going to use the information about apple trees and oak trees to get that answer right there. And when you have completed that, your assignment is done.